Hello, everyone. It is Brian here. So first of all, I had planned on going live yesterday, and it didn't happen. I also look pretty rough. So we've had the flu ravage our house the past week, I'd say. Our youngest got it. I don't remember if it was on Thanksgiving or the day before, but he has been a difficult one to deal with. Just been very sick, very needy. And so I look this way because I haven't had much sleep because I've been dealing with that and just haven't had time to do much. So anyway, sorry for my appearance. Sorry for not doing this yesterday, but it has been rough. Do not have a wedding today. This is like the one weekend off I get, and the next three Saturdays I have weddings, which is awesome for December because usually I don't have a lot of December weddings. And then I have one in January and then one in February. Anyway, so if you read the description, we had someone say they were looking for tips on how to get the dress and not spend a ton of money on the dress. I don't know if I could spend a long time talking about that, so I opened this up more to just general money saving tips, but I will hit the dress side of it as well. Thank you for all you guys. I see we got a few people on. Thank you guys for watching. Because guys, money is a big deal. I mean, money is what people fight over. Money is what causes stress. And weddings, as we all know, are extremely expensive. I'm not going to get into that debate because I understand why they're expensive, and I'm not going to say that people are overpricing them because it costs a lot to be in the wedding world and to run a successful business. Anyway, so let's talk about how you can save some money and still have this ridiculously fun, awesome wedding and get what you want. So the very first thing I will tell you guys, and I think I said this in a previous video, is you need to rank what's important to you. Okay, and I believe that. So I mean, you put a list together of what you care about, and that's where that's where the money needs to kind of flow. So the things at the top of the list is where you're going to put most of your money and most of your time and effort. The things at the bottom of the list you don't care about, so you don't really need to worry about that or spend your money on that. And I think that is a really great strategy for everyone. I mean, even if you have a lot of money or if you have very little money, make that list, prioritize things, and then take care of the things that are the most important to you and the biggest first. Sorry, I'm holding my phone, so it's kind of bumpy. Okay, so as far as other ways that you can kind of save money and do stuff, what a lot of people do is kind of do it yourself route, which I believe can work for a lot of things. You can find friends, people that have skills. I know a lot of people will get people to bake cakes for them and save some money that way. Or, I mean, if you're just really handy and crafty, you can kind of make stuff yourself. So, I mean, you could make table decorations pretty easily. Just a lot of those smaller things. I wouldn't try and do anything extremely important on the do-it-yourself side because it's going to cause stress and it's going to, it may not turn out as well if it's important to you. But yeah, things like, if the cake isn't that important to you, or if just little things like the table, the centerpieces and stuff you can probably get away with. I've had some people kind of go the flowers on the do-it-yourself type side with the friends doing flowers for them, and that's worked out pretty well. In general, I mean, if you do it yourself, you're not going to get the quality as you would with a professional, and someone is going to be, stressed out over it. But I mean, again, if it's not that important to you, then go for it. Do it yourself. Have someone else who can do it. Take care of it. Knock it out, and you can save a lot of money that way. Another way that people don't, or ways you can make money that people don't think about, is bartering. So I mean, we all have different skills and abilities and everything. So, I mean, if someone came up to me and they're like, hey, man, if you shoot my wedding, I'll do this for you. If it's something I really care about and something I really want, then I might make that deal. Or I might give them a discount and, take this much off of a wedding. So, I mean, if you have skills and things that you're good at and things that you can do for people, I mean, feel free to ask them. I mean, not everyone's going to jump on that, but I mean, you might save yourself a few $1,000s if you can barter out something you can do. So, I mean, I had a bride who is a stylist. I mean, she didn't ask and we didn't do it, but I mean, she could have been like, I will cut your hair for a year if you cut this much off of my wedding photography. I might have done it. I don't know. So don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to barter and trade things with people. Maybe your parents are really good at something and they can do something for them instead. Okay, so don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to barter and try and do that. I mean, the worst they're just going to say no, and then you'd be like, okay, that's cool. And I'm just trying to go through this. I've made a list of things. So another thing I think I talked about before is, in general, you can save a lot of money if you pick a date that is not competitive. So like a Friday, a Sunday, a Thursday, a January, February, December. In most case, vendors are going to hook you up with a deal because they want to make money, and most likely they wouldn't be doing anything else that day. I know I've got 2 Thursday weddings coming up in June, and I mean, what else am I going to be doing on a Thursday? So I was like, yeah, I'll hook you guys up and do something special for you. Same thing with these like December, January, February weddings. I hardly ever get to do them. So I mean, it's either I work or I sit around and do nothing. So I'm open to make deals with people. I mean, I'm open to help them out and, you know, give them a break. So if you haven't picked your date, that would be another way you can make some money or save some money, is by just picking a date that's not a highly competitive date. And a lot of your vendors, if you ask them, will give you some kind of discount or extra stuff or whatever. All right. So as far as dresses go, because that was the direct question, there are different ways you can save money, because the wedding dress can be really expensive. I mean, I've seen things for like several $1,000s and stuff that's not. So again, it goes back to how important it is to you. If it's extremely important, then you're going to want to spend money. I've seen some situations where people go kind of a non-traditional route, and it's not even really a wedding dress. It's more of like, I don't even know what you would call it, but it could be something that costs maybe $100. I mean, I've seen that several times in some of these smaller weddings where it's not that big of a deal. So I mean, if you don't care that much, you could literally get away with a dress for your wedding for a few $100s easily. Some other routes, you could always borrow it from someone. I mean, used to happen a long time ago is, moms would pass their dress down to people. That doesn't happen as much anymore, but you could ask that way, or you could just ask, if you've got relatives, friends who've already had their wedding and they're a similar size to you. I mean, they may not care. It may just be sitting in their closet doing nothing, and they may be willing to let you borrow it or use it or have it or whatever. And again, it's one of those things you just have to ask and be ready to be told no and just see what happens. As far as other things, you can always, there's a lot of sites out there that are for secondhand stuff. So eBay, the Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist possibly. So there's a lot of options where you could possibly buy one used. Another option, and I don't know how likely this is, dress stores will lend out dresses to have people use them for model shoots and all other things. And maybe they have just a bunch of extra in storage that they're not selling. So, I mean, again, feel free to go and talk to them about it and tell them what's up and tell them what you need. And maybe you can get a sweet deal on something that's just been sitting in their storage, or something that got used and it's kind of dirty and they don't want to sell it at full price. So that might be another option as far as the dresses go. I'm trying to think if there's anything else as far as dresses. I think that's probably it as far as the dresses go. Okay, so one last big thing, and then I got to hop out of here because I do have a shoot. We talked about the importance of things. Guys, you do not have to do everything at the wedding that everyone always does and everyone has this or that. If something is not important to you, feel free to skip it. Just don't do it at all. Don't put any money towards it. Don't worry about it. Don't do it at all. So, I mean, why do you have to follow what everyone else is doing? I mean, you don't have to follow all the traditions and do exactly what they're saying. So, I mean, if it's not important to you, feel free to skip some things and save money. I mean, I've had a lot of people not actually do a wedding cake and just do like cupcakes or something, or had people bake pies. If you don't care about decorations, then don't decorate. So, I mean, you don't have to do exactly what everyone else is doing, and you can save a lot of money just by skipping certain things that other people might deem important, but you do not. And guys, I mean, like all this, it's your wedding. It's supposed to be about you. So do what makes you happy and what is not going to freak you out. Because, I mean, there's nothing worse than stressing over money and making people upset because you're spending money on something. So if you can get away with not spending as much money, then go for it. All right. So, man, I'm so dirty and hairy. I will try and make more of these videos and more stuff in the near future. Again, guys, if you have questions, post it to the group. I'm hopping in there at least once a day to check and see what people are doing. If there's things I can help you with, please feel free to ask. And probably about, I don't know, Monday or Tuesday, I'll put another post out. And if you have something you want me to cover in a video, just make sure you're paying attention and comment on it, because I will try my best to help you guys. All right, guys, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I hope you're enjoying your Saturday, and you still got tomorrow as well. All right, see you guys.